I'm always going to be pulling the left loop through the right loop. Here it comes, and I'm trying to keep my loops somewhat taut. That makes the pattern a little better if I don't loosen up any of them. That's where it might look a little funny how I'm kind of got that one got a little loose. Now I'm reaching, I'm tightening in between, reaching, getting the next left loop. It's going to come through the right loop, tighten, reaching over again, always pulling the left through the right. This is for right-handed people. Left-handed people will have to want to reverse this. Through, tightening, again pulling it through any old way you can, as long as it's going to be somewhat not saggy, taut enough so that it doesn't sag. I'm going to go a little faster. This can be a very quick braid. It's not necessarily a very neat braid, but it's very quick to do, very fun to do. When the loops get shorter is when you're going to want to switch to doing it as more of a, getting the orange loop, more of a finger loop method than a handheld loop method. But for more control, with bigger, longer loops, it is really helpful to have your whole hand inserted. That makes an angle, a nice angle on the loops so that they tighten at the fell of the braid more neatly than if I were just to do this with fingers. You just get a little less control, although here the loops are short enough to really switch. This is my method. Other people might do it different ways. You're just basically pulling the left loop through the right loop again and again and again. The loop that's pulled through gets a turn, a half turn. This is very important in this braid, or a braid will not form. Later when we do the spiral braid with the same move, you don't need to actually give the loops a turn. You can, but it's not necessary. Here, with only 2 loops, it's quite necessary. So, another way to do this with fingers is to put the first loop onto the right loop onto the left and pull that over. This is kind of what I do when I do the spiral braid, when you have a lot of loops on fingers. More this way. Setting it on, reaching over, fishing it off, always pulling the left through the right. Okay, we're down, getting pretty close to the nubbins. My braid is really kind of loose and baggy here. If I wasn't so nervous about videoing, I would try to do it a bit neater. And usually with this braid, when you get to the bottom, the loops are so twisted that you almost don't need to tie them. You can just let go and they'll twine on themselves, and not, that way the braid won't undo. The braid is now done. It's very twisty, and you can get a nicer, cleaner pattern if you steam or press it or block it. But it has a kind of a nice liveliness to it with this twist too. I really like it as a fringe or a ribbon to have that curl to it. The pattern looks neater if you press it flat. The little chevrons will be neater. Okay, there we go.